Welcome back to Podcast the Motion Picture. Thanks for coming back. Today we are talking about the film The Brothers Bloom. It is our second, I was going to say foyer or saute, but I don't think either of those are the right word.
I think it's soiree.
No. Isn't that like a...
I think that's a fish, right?
No, a soiree
Yeah,
is
but
like a small gathering.
A fucking
Party-
foyer
party.
is the entrance to.
Yeah, it's an entrance to like a theater or like
Yeah.
something
Suddenly I'm
else.
hungry.
We're taking a quick saunter through our Ryan Johnson
Jeez.
films.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Overall, how did you guys feel about the film?
I felt this was a really fun movie for me. The characters, even though they're involved in these very seedy, unpleasant jobs, they're still pretty fun and charming. And I think, you definitely need to have some charming characters in order to sell this, because otherwise you're just going to end up hating everybody in this movie.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt at the beginning. I don't think those kids in the flashback, I guess, were cast as well as the adult cast.
Yeah, they were.
It definitely felt like a different movie, though, like at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, a little bit. The beginning to me felt like at times it kind of reminded me of Arrested Development because of the way it was being narrated.
Yeah.
As far as con man stories go, I think I've heard them all. Of grifters, ropers, pharaoh fixers, tales drawn long and tall.
Now the story of a wealthy family who lost everything, and the one son who had no choice but to keep them all together. It's Arrested Development.
Yeah, I could not stand that. I'm not one for narration or paragraphs in the beginning of films.
I don't know, those kids. Those damn kids. How did,
Yeah,
that's
That's exactly it. That's where it falls apart for me. In the beginning of this movie, those kids, when young Stephen is talking and like pretending to smoke his pixie stick, I'm just it's Brick all over again.
Why are they called the Brothers Bloom?
I was wondering that too.
because
There must be some.
they're orphans, right?
Yeah, but one of
Yeah.
them is named Steven, the other one's named Bloom.
Yeah, and it's the younger brother who's Bloom. It's not like the older one.
So, what was your guys' favorite line? Did you guys have one? Was there one that stuck out?
Not
My
really.
eyes rolled when that one guy at the beginning was like, a month ago, 1,000 years ago, and I was just like, oh god. No, like, was that Kipling? No, it wasn't. Now I'm curious as to if that is actually a line from some novel or something, but because it made me fucking eye roll.
But my favorite line, well, I mean, there was two, because there was the one where they come in and then that one like foreign guy's just so excited, make way, make room for the Brothers Bloom.
Make way! Make room for the Brothers Bloom!
Oh, the guy from Brick.
Yeah.
Oh, that one chick when Brick was in there too.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
beat poetry girl.
She was kind of
girl
talking
with
the
the round
same way
face.
in this one. I'm
I
just
know,
like,
I
oh
was
god,
like-
shut up.
And then when fucking Adrian Brody is just like, nah, I was like, yeah.
There was another pretty funny line where there was a guy hitting on the Japanese woman.
Oh, and he's like something about
"Do you like
anime.
You know, I'm pretty big into anime.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I think she probably had the best lines. Boom boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bang
she
bang.
Only,
Bang bang.
she only sang.
She said, "Fuck
Karaoke.
me."
That was it.
Damn.
I think that one probably is most memorable to me.
She's definitely grown as an actor from that film to Pacific Rim. So
Oh,
good for
yeah,
her.
definitely. She wasn't utilized enough in this movie. It definitely could have used more of her
In what way?
backstory, maybe.
But I thought that's the allure. She just showed up one day.
I just want to know more
And then-
about her, though.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
That's
how
the
they
exact
hook
in-
you.
yeah, that's the exact intention Ryan Johnson wanted.
I did really like this one shot during the beginning of the movie when they're like on the roof and there's that mural on the back of the guy like pointing the gun at its head,
Yeah.
and he just kind of like bangs through the door making that almost gunshot sound. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there were a lot of good shots.
Mhm. I realize, yeah, this whole film, like, I realize Ryan Johnson's all about like subverting expectations because every single little thing is just not what you expect. You know, even from like the moment where Bloom gets hit on the bike and he's flying through the air and that car starts to move and you're like, okay, she's trying to like back up, and then it just keeps going forward until it. And then so like this whole scene was supposed to end with him in the hospital and ends with her in the hospital. And then even the creamer, you know, you got Bloom trying to put some creamer in his cup. It doesn't work for
sugar.
him.
It's sugar.
Or sugar, yeah.
And then Steve does it just fine, and then gives it back to Bloom, and it all topples in. How'd you guys feel? Speaking of sight gags, how'd you feel about Hagrid's entrance?
It was good.
Yeah.
The darkness and the was it a match that lit it up, or was it just the red flashing light?
It was both.
Nobody knows.
It was both, right? Okay.
Oh, I did think it was really silly that when they're getting shot off the road towards the end of the film, and it shows their, I don't know, I guess it's a Volvo or some shit, like barrel roll. It like cuts to Mark Ruffalo like screaming, and it like looks upside, like they're upside down, but his hat is just perfectly on his head. Like, that must be a really tight hat. What'd you guys think of the soundtrack?
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
It was really cute. Yeah. Does it get that like?
I think that's one of the reasons it worked.
What did you guys think of the ending?
I think because this is like my third time seeing it,
Uh,
I enjoyed it. But I think the first time I watched it, I was genuinely surprised, and I was just like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was sad.
Yeah, I was a little sad. I was like, I think at first I was a little confused. I'm like, wait, no, this can't happen. Like, this is really just happened.
I think the only reason I was sad is because it like cuts back to Mark Ruffalo sitting on the chair,
Yeah,
and it looks like he's waiting for Adrian Brody to have figured it out and to come back in. At least that's how I interpreted his look, the expression on his face.
mm.
I think without that, I'd have just been like if they had just stayed with Penelope and Bloom, I would have been like, oh man, that sucks. But when you see him die, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it also had like this kind of weird, like almost angelic feel to it with like the spotlight coming down. So it was kind of like him maybe not waiting for his brother to come back, or maybe just waiting for death to come to him, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably more accurate.
He finally like made like the perfect con or whatever, and so like his work is done.
패드 드림 스프레이